Hello. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Perfecting Me podcast. Karibuni, Karibuni, Karibuni. Thank you guys for just continuing to be patient with me. Honestly, I think I'm going to switch it to just being videos will be uploaded once a week because I am really busy with school and school's my number one priority. So I'm really trying to keep that at the forefront and I don't want to get drowned out. But I want to give my all to the podcast, all while giving my all to school, all while giving my all to work, all while giving my all to me. So it's better for me and I'm able to just be more real with you guys if I just say I will post videos once a week. So you will get a video. They might be one Sunday, one Monday. It might be one Sunday, one the next Sunday, one Tuesday, one Wednesday. But just know you're going to get a video from me, right? So with that being said, thank you guys so much for all of your support thus far. I'm so grateful for all of you. And as for today's episode, I kind of want to do something different. Not really different because all I do is talk every single time I come on here. But by different, I mean I want to just talk about me today. I don't really have a topic per se. It's more so just going to be whatever flows, whatever comes out, and we're going to see how that goes for us. Let me get right into it. I just kind of thought this would be like an update on me currently. Well, first of all, I got a new cord for my ring light, and I'm so glad because the quality of my last videos has been a little questionable. But I mean, it's more so about what I'm saying, not what I'm doing or what I look like. So that's why we are where we are. Today I decided to do the little natural curl pattern. I big chopped a year and 4 months ago, and this is how far my hair has grown. Like, it's like, thank you, but I'm tired of being bald. Like, I need my hair to fall again. It's not giving for me. I'm like, I look like my mom. Like, my mom's wigs are exactly this length, exactly this curl pattern. Probably the same color with like a little more blonde to it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to wear this hair because this is the hair that I feel the most like undone in. And y'all are going to love me in it anyway. As for me currently, I just kind of wanted to talk about, like, update you guys on where I'm at in my growth journey, what I have going on for me right now, what's most important, what's most prevalent. Me right now, honestly, I'm in a really good place. I'm really happy. I feel like, I'm not going to lie to you guys. No matter when you talk to me, I'm going to say I'm in a really good place. Just because that's just like who I've become. I've really embodied this ideology of like sitting in happiness. I truly try to forgive in the moment. I truly try to choose perceptions that are positive rather than negative. I truly try to bring myself back to that place that I know is calming and loving and warm. Thank you for waiting. I have returned. I had to get my glasses because I just like keep forgetting to wear them now, and I actually really, really need them. I am, like I said, in a really good place, but I mean, there's always room for improvements. There's always times when I like dip or fall. Right now, as I said earlier in the beginning of this video, I'm really trying to focus on school. I'm really trying to focus on me. Like, over these past few months, I have had a lot of like revelations. I don't know if that's what I call them. I don't even know if I really know what revelations mean. But through context, I'm going to think I used that correctly. It all started when me and my previous roomie went to a concert. And we went to a concert and we had like deep talks and like, I don't know, it just kind of felt like we said a lot of things to each other that we hadn't said, but it was a lot of things that we should have said because I felt like I got a lot of clarity. I could tell she felt like she got a lot of clarity. And in that moment, I realized that there was a lot of things that I wanted to put my attention to. There was a lot of changes that I wanted to make within myself, but I wasn't doing them. Immediately, I knew going back home was and home, by home I mean to my parents, moving back to my parents' house was the start for me, was the focal point. When I started this podcast, I had just moved into my place like recently, pretty recently, with my previous roommate, and things were really going great. Like, I really loved the place, my layout, I loved it. I loved my room. Like, I really loved everything about it. Looking back now, I realize how, I mean, I'm glad I was so positive and happy about where I was living, but truth be told, it was not the best place. Like, even my place before that was better, and I was paying way less for rent. We moved in together, and it was like really great. But slowly, as I was taking summer classes, and for a little context before that, I was completely failing school. Like, anyone who knows me knows I'm probably known as someone who's super studious. Like, people always say I'm smart. People like to say things like, I'm gonna be this and I'm gonna be that. And like, not to say I'm not smart. I'm a genius. I'm quite intelligent, literally. But for the first time in my life, like, I wasn't embodying what was like my number one label. My number one label was like I was smart. And I wasn't really embodying that side of myself. So I found myself in this place where I like was happy in my life. Like, I had finally had a happy living situation. I had finally like had friends that I was like sure were genuine friends. Like, things were really going good for me. But as far as school, I was not doing good. I failed anatomy and physiology twice. Took it a third time and was like, I just can't fail this again. Passed with an A. Don't even know how I did that. Took it during the summer too, with like one of the hardest professors I've ever had. And that just shows you how, like, when you really want something, you're going to do it. But at this time, I really knew I didn't want to be a nursing major. So I switched right before, and I was really happy. So now, like, with this newfound major that I found, which was family and human services, which I love because it's like not super specifically geared to social work, but social work is encompassed in that, and it's not like specifically geared to counseling like psychology or sociology, like. And even then, I think there's other forms of work that you can do under those majors as well. Like, let me not put a bracket around it, but family services, definitely, just the name of it was something that I was like, this is for me, because I love dealing with people. I love dealing with families. I love the intersectionality of it all, the different forms of families and how they look and how they come and how they operate, and like just being allowed to be put in an environment to understand people that are foreign from me. So when I found this major, I was like, I really can't fuck this up. So, but that also was me switching my major my senior year of college, and being faced with the fact that I'm going to have to take another year of college. And that's if, like, I take summer classes, I take winter classes. Like, it really could be another 2 years. And it was really hard for me because it was like, either tell my parents I'm not going to be the nurse that they wanted me to be, tell my parents that they're potentially going to have to pay for an extra year or two of school, or switch my major and be happy, right? And not only that, but switch your major and do all these things, but then also like not have any room to fail. Because even before, when I had no room to fail, I still failed. So it was like, now you really have to be on your shit. And I don't know where, truth is, that part of me that was not doing good in school just really wasn't happy with a lot of other aspects of her life, and was too busy putting so much attention to things that really didn't matter, and harboring shame, sadness, regret. It put a lot of strain in my life. Like, I was struggling in school. It just seemed like everything was going wrong. And I found myself in such a pessimistic mindset. So when I finally switched my major, it was like, I have to do this right. I have to get it right. And honestly, it really was more so about finding that smart girl again. Because like I said, I was in this place where I'm no longer smart. Like, people know me to be this smart girl. People know me to be this studious girl, but that's not even me anymore. Like, I don't pass any of my classes. I barely go to class. Like, it was really sad. Like, I could hardly pull myself out the bed to go to school. I was playing catch up with my schoolwork and emailing teachers and getting notes for doctor's offices. I just was going to the doctor all the time. My body was like showing that like I wasn't happy because I just had a lot of different medical issues arising at the same time. I'm pretty sure I've said on this channel that I have an autoimmune disease, so I, with that, partnered with like the allergies that were insane. Like I literally could not breathe. Like could not breathe while I slept, to the point where like I was getting no sleep at night. I already don't want to go to class. So now I'm not going to go to class. And it was just so funny to see myself be in this place where I didn't really know who I was anymore. And it wasn't even funny, but like it was more so funny but traumatic at the same time. So when I moved to this new place, it was my number one priority to be myself again, to be as genuine to the person that people think I am as possible. And so I took summer classes and I got almost all A's in all of these classes, almost hundreds in all of these classes. And it was like exhilarating. Like it was a feeling that I hadn't had. And people are like, girl, you took 5 summer classes and you got A's? And I'm like, yeah, girl. Like I wrote a 15-page paper in a day and I got 100 on it. Like I was doing things, and not even in a day, in hours, in like a couple hours before it was due. Because one thing about me, honey, is I'm a write a paper. Okay? I should have been an English major for real. Too bad I don't want to be. But yeah, so like I had this summer, and it was like I didn't get to party as much as I used to. I didn't go to the club as much as I did, but I rewarded myself with going to Broccoli Fest and going to LA to see my friend. And honestly, like those two things were much more rewarding than any night out at the club. Anytime I got to go out and have fun and do hood rat shit with my girlfriends, like. And not only that, I know I had all my classwork. I went out, I got myself a planner. I had never had a planner before. And I actually use it. Like, I am really consistent. I even write different. Like, my handwriting is neater. You know when you, like, write when you're, like, falling asleep? So it's, like, all the lines are, like, put together. Like, one long line. And it's, like, ineligible. That's how I used to write. And, like, I used to swear up and down that I had, like, horrible handwriting. But, like, my handwriting is beautiful. Everybody always compliments my handwriting now. And I'm just like, wow, the turnaround that I've made. And so just that small change in me trying to find the smart version of Michelle again, I started to realize how much of myself I had lost. How much of myself now wasn't consistent with who I knew myself to be. And it was when me and my roomie had that conversation after Broccoli Fest that I realized I had to come back home. And it was because I came to realizations about the things that I wanted. I wanted to graduate. I wanted to have a degree, and I wanted to get a degree in something that I was well versed and well educated in. I didn't want to get a degree and just have a degree and I lose all that college knowledge and information the second I graduate. You know, I wanted to have a degree where I was really a specialist in my field. And so just to change to family and human services, it was already like, okay, check. Then I passed my summer classes. I'm using my planner. Like, I'm really into this schedule. Okay, check. So, but now it's like, girl, you're broke. Like, broke. Broke with a capital B, baby. Broke. So I could not save for the life of me. And I'm pretty sure I've said this so many times because it was so true. Like, the way my parents funded my life was insane. Like, I did a TikTok filter today and it was like, what kind of sibling are you? And I'm thinking it's going to say the generous one, the kind one, the middle one. Girl, that joint said the spoiled one. I was like, TikTok, you didn't have to call me out like that. Thank you. And that's why I don't do those filters no more. I was so spoiled, and like I just had a really bad relationship with money. And I started to realize how little discipline I really had. Like, it wasn't only just money. I was bad with money, but I was overall just bad with not having things that I wanted immediately in the moment. And it made me realize that, like, I had been given easy access to things that I wanted all my life. And sometimes I use that to for good. Like, I would access things so that my friends could have them because I know that they weren't able to have them as much, or I would ask for money and just so I could buy my friends some food because they didn't have no money for food. But other times, most of the times, it was like, if I want to drink, I'm gonna get liquor today. If I want to buy a new wig, I'm gonna find the money to buy a new wig today. If I want to go out, I'm gonna find the money to go out. Like, there was never not a way. And I truly believed that money gonna find me. And I still do believe that. Like, I believe I'm destined for greatness. I believe I'm destined for millions. Not even believe, I know. But it was definitely the way I was going about it. Like, my mom used to say to me all the time, girl, you keep saying you're gonna be rich. How you gonna be rich if you spend it all? If you can't save $20, you're not gonna be able to save $20,000. And it's so true. Like, I used to be like, no, there's no way that's not true. Girl, I got my unemployment money and I was done with that money. And like, I got my unemployment money late because they didn't process my account for a while. So by the time they did, I had got back pay from like months of unemployment. So I got like almost 15K from unemployment for like all the months that they had missed. When I tell you, the first thing I did was buy a car. Bought a car. I could have bought a Toyota Corolla. I could have bought a Honda Civic. I could have bought anything for like $6,000, $5,000, $4,000. No, baby. I bought a Mercedes for $11,000. Now I have $4,000 left. I was sitting here buying wigs. I was buying my sister clothes. I was buying me clothes. I was texting my homegirls, girl, you want some shoes? I'm going to get you some shoes. Knowing damn well I have no income, no money. And honestly, if I had bought a $4,000 car and put like that other $10,000 into saving, I would have been way further now. You know what I'm saying? But no, it's because of my lack of discipline that I just needed things so badly. So when I realized how much I lacked discipline, it really brought me back to like, girl, if you can't create this discipline yourself, you're gonna have to put put yourself in a place that will, which meant to me being around your friends, living on your own, having that much freedom. Like, all those things were not gonna lead me to discipline. So that's how I realized I had to come back to stage one and come live at my parents' house. So after coming back to my parents' house, I started having further realizations about things that needed to change. So it turned from like having discipline, which was just like an aspect I needed to learn in all parts of my life. I needed to have discipline as far as saving, putting my priorities straight, choosing who to give my time to, choosing what was right over what was fun. I needed discipline as far as eating. Like, I needed discipline in so many different parts of my life. And I knew coming back to my parents' house was going to help me because, one, my parents are very vigilant. They pay attention to every little thing that I do, especially my dad. My dad will know everything. Like, my dad will see a hair on the floor that, like, I didn't even realize was on the floor. And he'll be like, this hair wasn't here yesterday. You don't have blonde hair. You haven't worn blonde hair since 3 weeks ago. So who was in my house? Like, my dad is that, like, I don't even know if deducive is the word. But he's really good at, like, he's very, very hyper vigilant. He pays attention to every little thing. So I knew, one, like, I was going to be forced to be held accountable. I knew, two, my dad was already on my ass. Like, my dad is connected to my account. So he was already on my ass when it came to money. But I knew now it's like, he's waiting to come home to ask me about this money. It's not, oh, I'm going to ask you about why'd you spend all that money when I hear from you or when we get on the phone or when I see you. It's, I'm going to ask you about this money today when I get home from work because I got a notification that said you spent $300 and it came from iwig.com. And so that was another way that I was going to like have that forcible discipline. Like I was going to be forced to have to make myself better, because if I didn't want to be nagged, if I didn't want to hear things that made me reminded about where I failed or where I lacked, I just had to not lack there. So I knew moving back home was just the perfect thing for me to do. But like I said, once I got here, I started realizing so much more. I started realizing that I needed to not only be who I knew I was, but who I want to be. And it really started to make me think about the things that I want in my near future. And truth is, like, I want to be a wife. I want to be a mother. I want to have a family. I want to be able to support my family. And so now I'm starting to realize, like, girl, you never cook. Like, I can cook. I have cooked, but I don't cook. And, like, I was just so strung around the idea of, like, well, when I get my family, when I get my husband, that's when I'll cook. That's when I'll clean. That's when I'll do all these things. But I started to realize how I needed to already be those things to tell myself, to be sure of the fact that, like, I'd be able to do these things when I became a wife. So I went out and looked for a job that was going to require me to cook, that was going to require me to clean, that was going to require me to be hyper vigilant about keeping things in order, being organized, being disciplined. And when I tell you, I love it so much. Like, I was never made, I really, 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 like, I mean it when I tell you guys I'm the spoiled child. It's so bad. I used to never like it when my siblings said, I used to be like, well, I get whooped too, and I get in trouble too. But no, baby, I was the spoiled child. Like, I barely cleaned. If I was made to vacuum, it was my room only. For reference, I live in a 6-7 bedroom home, and like I have vacuumed my whole entire family home maybe 3 times max in my whole life of living here. Lived here since I was 10 years old. That's what, 13 years. And even then, not even, I lived here permanently from 10, but I also lived here for like 2 years before that, and then like moved again. But that's a total of 15 years of living in this home, and I have only vacuumed the entire house 3 times. I've only cooked a meal by myself once, and I mean an actual meal, like for my family. My aunt and uncle, I cooked rice and chicken one time because everyone was saying how, like, what are you gonna do when you get a husband? You're never gonna cook. Like, your man is gonna suffer. He's gonna be hungry. Your kids are gonna starve. And I was like, silence! So I cooked rice and I cooked chicken. And it was like so little that like my aunt and my uncle and me and my cousins ate it. My own parents didn't even get to try my cooking. My own siblings didn't even get to try my cooking. And that was the one time that I ever cooked food for them. So they never tasted. Okay, I lied. I made burrito tacos during COVID, and them joints slap. Let me tell you, I make a mean burrito tacos. So if you want to place an order, hit me up. Thank you. But yeah, like I envied my sister, because my sister is this person who, like, her hands, when it comes to putting food together, they're gifted. She's the real cooking mama. Do you understand? That's cooking mama in this room right there. She cooks so good. So as I got older, I was like, damn, like, I was just doing something, sorry. I was like, if the way to a man's heart is his stomach, then I'm single for the rest of my life. Because not only did I, like, barely cook, but I didn't even want to. Like, I fully was living in this world of, like, my man is gonna cook for me. Because let me tell you, my daddy cooks, right? My mom worked so much. She was working so hard for me and my siblings, and, like, to give us the life that we lead today, to the point that my dad cooked. My dad did my hair, my dad cooked. So I was fully like, my man is gonna cook for me. I am not cooking. Like, I am not doing nothing. My man will take care of my daughter. Raiden, places. I was so serious about it too. Like, I was so dead ass. But no, I really found the beauty in, like, when you love somebody, you just want them to be taken care of and to be happy. And not only that, when you love yourself, you're taken care of and you're happy. And then you have so much love to give to yourself that it just starts to spill out and pour over. So I realized I wanted to be a wife. I've always known I wanted to be a wife. But I was like, okay, I want to be a wife, and I want to be a wife in the near future, but I'm not embodying the characteristics of a wife. And not only that, but the characteristics of the wife that I want to be. Because not to say that, like, you can't be a wife who your man cooks for you and cleans and does all that. Kudos to you, girl. But I definitely have always had the idea of, like, a 50-50 household. But I didn't know where my 50 was going to come from. Like, was I going to pay for it? Like, I don't really know. But I put myself in this job where I am now vacuuming a house that is as big as my family home every other day. I'm cleaning the bathrooms. I'm cleaning the room. I'm doing the entire family laundry. And I do it all in one day. And these are all things that, like, my family, literally, if I told them this is what I did for work, they'd scream. And on top of that, I watch a child and, like, take her to dance. Like, I really, basically, my entire job is, like, a mom's job. Like, I'm another mom to a family. I'm the second half to a family. And this was just another part of me that once I conquered it, it just made me want more. So now I'm currently working on sticking to schedules, like, because let's be real, who showers every day? It's not me. Like, I probably should not disclose this information, but, like, people, there's definitely people that do that, but, like, also realistically, like, I'll come home late, I'll get tired, and I'll go on my bed and I will knock out. So now I'm trying to, like, really hold myself accountable for things like that, like brushing twice a day, actually flossing every single day, taking a shower every day, doing my bed every day. Like, my bed right now is undone, and I've been really good at doing my bed every day, but, like, this week I've been so busy because I've been working overtime, and I haven't done my bed. But that's the thing, I want to be consistent. I want to be a woman whose room is always clean. I want to be a girl whose bed is always made. I want to be that person that brushes her teeth and goes to bed at 9 p.m. Like, I want to have a consistent schedule. I want to give more to flowers. I love flowers, but I have never taken care of flowers. And now, like, I feel so at peace. I feel so filled with love that I just want to give back and do more. So now I'm trying to be more intentional. I buy myself flowers every 2 weeks, because whenever, typically however long they last. But I buy myself flowers now. I buy roses for my room. I water the plants outside. I also water the plants at work. I put them outside to get sunlight. Like, I'm doing all these things that I never thought that I would do. But basically, it's like, I'm doing these things for other people while also doing these things for myself. Also proving things to myself. Also putting myself in alignment with the person that I am and the person that I want to be. And so, with that being said, I just really wanted to come on here and talk about where I was right now. I wanted to talk about the importance of making sure that the person you are on the outside is in alignment with the person that you are on the inside. I mean truthfully, like, if you're projecting to be somebody that got money, make sure you actually got money to show. If you are projecting to be a wholesome, kind person, make sure you're actually being wholesome and being kind and doing these things and giving back to people. I am currently now trying to embody mixing the parts of my old self and these parts of my new self to create my me now. And I think that's the hardest part of this journey, is finding a way to mesh the two together, because a lot of the parts of my old self that I'm trying to get back, which are like my authentic style, which I said in like a previous video, and like my authentic styles of expression. I'm trying to lean away from thinking that like I talk too much or I post too much or I'm annoying with the ways that I choose to post or that I choose to express myself on social media. I'm trying to like wean myself to be more authentic, but also remembering that those parts of myself were tied to mindsets that are very different from the mindset and the person that I am today. And these new aspects of myself are in alignment with the version of me that holding back and not fully being creative and not fully, putting herself out there and being fully authentic. So it's like letting go of the bad parts, or not bad, because everything about you is good. It's just some things are for certain times of life and some things are not. And some things are meant to evolve, like Pokemons or whatever. So it's really just meshing old me while dropping the parts of old me that aren't really me anymore, and combining in this version of new me while dropping the parts of new me that aren't really me anymore as well. So this is an update on me, on my growth journey. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give me some ideas of what to talk about for next week. I need y'all to interact with me a little bit more. Like, if you watch this video, like it. If you like it, share it. If you share it, comment on it. Like, I don't know, but let me know what you guys want to hear. Please give me constructive criticism. If you think you have any ideas of what I should do with my layout, if you think you have any ideas of what I should talk about, how I should frame my videos, please don't be afraid to let me know. And I'm so open to all communication. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Kwaheri.